A profound and shocking loss has struck the heart of Hollywood, sending ripples of grief across the nation. On the morning of December 14, 2025, celebrated filmmaker Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle Singer Reiner, were discovered deceased inside their Brentwood, Los Angeles home. The initial reports from law enforcement painted a grim picture, indicating that the couple had sustained what appeared to be fatal stab wounds. The news immediately cast a dark shadow over the entertainment industry, a community where the Reiners were beloved friends and collaborators. Their home became the center of a tragic investigation that gripped the country. The Los Angeles Police Department announced that they had taken a suspect into custody. Authorities identified the individual as Nick Reiner, the 32-year-old son of Rob and Michelle. He was subsequently arrested and formally charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, transforming a public tragedy into an intensely personal family nightmare. In the immediate aftermath, an outpouring of sympathy and heartfelt condolences emerged. Friends and colleagues set aside differences to honor Rob and Michelle Reiner. Statements from Billy Crystal, Christopher Guest, and Jamie Lee Curtis expressed profound shock and sadness. These tributes painted a picture of warmth, generosity, and unwavering friendship. Actor James Wood said, "Did I agree with his politics? I did not. Did I love him as a friend, as an artist, as an icon of Hollywood, and as a patriot? I most certainly did." This solemn reflection was abruptly shattered by a statement from the highest office. Less than 24 hours later, President Donald Trump reframed the tragedy in political terms, without evidence and with no indication of an official link between the crime and politics. Trump suggested that Rob Reiner's outspoken criticism of him had contributed to the couple's deaths, describing Reiner as afflicted with what he called a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome. Instead of condolences, he linked the moment to Reiner's criticism of him, claiming it drove people crazy. When questioned later, he doubled down. "I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned." The choice stunned many, turning a family's private agony into a public spectacle. The president had turned a eulogy into a tirade. The president's comments ignited a firestorm of criticism notable for its bipartisan nature. Democratic leaders condemned the remarks as a failure of empathy and leadership, but swift, sharp rebukes from Republicans signaled a line had been crossed. Regardless of how you felt about Rob Reiner, this is inappropriate and disrespectful discourse about a man who was just brutally murdered. I guess my elected GOP colleagues, the VP, and White House staff will just ignore it because they're afraid? Even Marjorie Taylor Greene wrote, "This is a family tragedy, not about politics or political enemies." Leaders from both parties agreed violent death and family sorrow aren't times to settle scores. The reaction defended a basic standard of public decency. Elected officials, commentators, and the public formed a chorus of disapproval. It was a collective call for empathy, to recognize shared human loss beyond politics, a rare moment of unity in a deeply divided landscape. This incident raises fundamental questions about leadership in a polarized era. The words of a president can soothe a grieving nation, foster unity, and set a tone of mutual respect. Conversely, they can deepen divisions and inflame tensions, injecting partisan animosity into moments that demand compassion. Experts warned that stigmatizing language, like calling critics deranged, harms public discourse. It risks trivializing real mental health struggles for millions. A single post can harden opinions before compassion takes hold. In this environment, tonal discipline matters. Attack posts turn shared sorrow into another front in the culture war. What do we expect from leaders in times of tragedy? A consoler-in-chief who offers comfort and solidarity, or a cudgel against perceived enemies even in death?